Hello everyone, and welcome back on my channel. So yesterday, if you have followed up on my story, you may have noticed in there I have said that today we will be finishing up this book. The name of that book is Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. So today we are done with that book, and in this video, I will be sharing some of my insights of that particular book and what I learned from that book about some points. If you are ever think that I should read this book, then what you should keep in mind before purchasing this book. And also, there are a few questions, one or two questions which I think I should answer uh, because in these couple of days I'm doing as I'm finishing books very rapidly and reading a lot. That's why I thought that these two or three questions should be I should point out, facts I should point out. Next is the changes, that what are the changes I'm going to do in for my upcoming two books which I'm going to read. So these are the 3 points which I will be covering in this video. So let us start from the very first thing, talking about the book which we have finished, Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. If you have followed up on my story from last time, I have said that this particular book is a very technical book. You will know about your sleep diseases related with sleep, various research going on sleep, and which are already done in the past. You will know a lot of things about sleep in this particular book. The first part is going to be very enjoyable, the middle part is going to be a little bit boring, and the final part is again going to be enjoyable for you. Like, it's entertaining, it's not very boring. If I put this book on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the most enjoyable book and the 10 being a totally scientific book, any of like engineering or mathematics, then it books lie somewhere around 6 or 6.5. It's not a very enjoyable book, but the facts and the information available in this book is very good. And if you ever encounter in a scenario where there you have to prove your points of economic development, about social behavior of the people, about particular education, and if you ever want to connect all these with sleep, and you want to tell what are the benefits and what are the wrongdoings, or what are the lacks which we are facing because we are not sleeping well, then you will find a lot of information in this particular book to tell about. Next thing I want to say about this particular book is that it is not going to be a very, very indulging. It's definitely going to be a little bit boring. So I would recommend have a I have a fictional book which will be a little bit more interesting for you alongside with this one, if you are ever planning to go and read this particular book. Okay. Next thing I want to talk about the two questions. The first one is uh, what happens when I finish a book. Okay, and the second one, what happens before I am trying to start a book, and the whole journey of reading. Many people ask me that, Shubham, you read a lot of books, so and you are very intelligent, and they often admire or they praise or they tell very good things, but that I am not able to do. I'm not able to finish all these big books because often I show them my books which are 1200 pages, 1500 pages long, and often I am reading two or three books at my college or at my shop also whenever I am there. Then people often ask me that you read a lot of books, then, and they often might be possible visualize me in their head as a very intelligent guy. Look, I want to clear one thing here, is that it doesn't work like that. It doesn't happen like you have a book So suppose you are completely a normal person, or not a very intelligent person, or not a very, very informative person. Then you read a book, then you are going to have a lot of insights, and whatever we see in movies stuff, that after reading a particular book or after studying for 1 or 2 months, you are going to be a super intelligent guy and you will score very good marks in your test. And no, it doesn't work like that. You don't get I don't We readers don't get enlightened by reading a lot. It doesn't happen like, if I have finished a book, for example, take an example. For the sake of this argument, take an example of this particular book which I have finished, Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. Now, I know a lot of things, I would say much more things from a normal person, to tell about sleeping and how it affects our body and what kind of sleep we should have, and how to have a better sleep, what kind of diseases can happen to us if we do not sleep well, what are the pros and cons for teenage students to sleep well, and what are the lacks our society is having because we are pushing our limits further and further because of not sleeping well, because of the work pressure. We always say that we do not have time to sleep. So there are going to be points, there are going to be discussions happening between the people, and I will be on the positive edge to prove various points regarding those discussions, and I will be able to provide a lot of information regarding sleep. But it does not happen like I will be an enlightened person after reading 1 or 2 books. No, it will be a kind of state maybe in future that I will have a lot of information about many of the fields from which I have read a book about. It is now also, because it is not like I remember each and everything from a book which I have read. No, but yes, if I ever come across a person who is somewhere or the other related with that particular field, or he or she also have read that particular book, or he is interested in that particular person or in that particular field about which I have read a book, then I will be a person too easy to talk to. I will be able to get him or her to be involved in a discussion with me on that particular topic, and hence we share our information and grow our knowledge with the help of each other. So this is what happens positively whenever you are reading a book. The next thing I want to share, whenever I am going to start a book, or when what happens when I am starting a book, and what happens when I am ending a book. Look, whenever I'm going to start a book, and the one question always comes in my mind, that whether I will be able to finish or not. Mostly it happens that the second thought is always there, that I will not be able to complete this book. There are two books which are over 1,000 of pages which I have started. One is The Glimpse of World History by Jawaharlal Nehru, and another one is Don Quixote by there is a writer, I do not remember his name. So these particular books were over 1,000 pages, but still I was able to finish them, and I had some insights from these both books. Now, whenever I'm going to start a book, of course there is a second thought that I won't be able to recover. I won't be able to remember everything from this particular book. But whenever I finish a book, everything comes together, and everything feels good in a particular way, that yes, I can do. If I can finish a book which is 1,200 pages long, whether it took me 3 months, it doesn't matter, but I can finish this book which is over 300 or 400 pages, because it's a piece of cake for me. If I can read 1,200, then I can definitely read 400 pages, whether it is going to take me not 1 month, but in 2 weeks or in 3 weeks. I will be able to finish this particular book. And also, somewhere or the other, this thought often motivates me, that there are people watching my videos, or looking at my stories which I post online, that what he is up to next and what he is reading next. So this always motivates me to read along, and always follow up with the books, purchase new books, and invest a lot of money in this particular hobby, because there are no next level result of this particular habit of book reading. It is a time consuming and not a very enjoyable hobby to everyone else. There is no, as I have earlier mentioned out in my first part, that what happens whenever I'm trying to what happens when you are reading a book and when you finish it then you don't get enlightened. You get my point. So these were the 2 points which I wanted to share. If you have any questions regarding these two, then you can comment down below and share your views, what you think about this, and I will be very happy to get involved in a discussion on these particular two ideologies of mine in the comments down below. Next thing about the changes, that what are the changes going to be next. Now there is only one change that I am going to indulge myself. As you can see on my screen, there is a phone and I am recording this on my phone, and there are a few books on my bookshelf. It's if you want to know the app, it is a Moon Plus Reader app. It's a very nice app, and if you are also planning to read books or books in a very in PDF format, then you can download this app. It's available on Play Store for free of cost. Now what about the change? What is the change? The change is going to be the next two books which I will be reading. I will not be reading in printed format, because up till now I am a reader in the printed format, and I often read books in print format regularly. But now I'm going to shift and I'm going to read the next two books on my mobile, and these are going to be this one, Ideas and Opinion by Albert Einstein. Ideas and Opinions by Albert Einstein, and the next one is going to be Bhagavad Gita, and the translations of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, the English translation of the original Bhagavad Gita in English translations. Why these two books specifically? If you ask, then one is recommended by one of my friend who is studying at an IIT. Maybe he read that particular book, he found it very interesting. So it's a 180 200 pages book, so it won't take me long to read this. So that is for sure. And the next Bhagavad Gita. One of my friend who is with whom I did my preparation for GATE examination. At that time also I used to read books, not very profoundly, but yeah, I used to. So he recommended me, he from a very long time is forcing me or recommending me that you should read this book. Then it's going to be a good thing for you, and you will come to know about the truth and very great ideologies from the Lord Krishna and his particular format. So that's why I decided to go up with these two books. And there are also French Revolution and Karl Marx, Das Kapital. So these are a few books which I will be going around once or twice if I get boring with these two. So that's going to be our plan for the next upcoming, I guess, 2 weeks maybe. If not, then if I don't enjoy this, then I will be shifting back on my regular books, and I will let you know, guys, that what I am reading. That is probably going to be our one book from Jawaharlal Nehru. From the set of those three books, the second one is Discovery of India. I am 100 or 112 pages through. I will be reinitiating with that, and also autobiography of one person. I forgot his name, but Benjamin Franklin. Okay, so the autobiography of Benjamin Franklin. So if you like things related with books, reading, if it is your hobby, then you can subscribe to my channel, and I hope I will see you guys around in my next videos. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys. Bye bye.